Welcome to Chop Shop Motors. My name is Clay, and work continues today on the Vortic Truck. We're gonna keep plugging away under the hood and see if we can get it tidied up a little bit more. We made good progress over the last week. And we're attacking it again. So engine compartment is clean, inner fender wells are painted and kind of refreshed. We're going to mask off the firewall and see if we can put a little bit of red on the motor. The goal isn't the goal for this isn't to make it look restored. I got to keep hammering that home. The goal is just to clean it up and make it so RT can keep it clean easily as he's enjoying it over the next 20 years. And so, you know, there was just tons of grease and buildup, and so we've cleaned that off. We're going to put some paint on really the top half of the motor so that it is presentable when the hood is popped, and then we can bolt all the other pieces on and have it, you know, look in there and see what it is, and be able to see if something's going wrong or something's leaking. It's a little easier to see it and capture it and get somebody to fix it as time goes on, long after it leaves here. So today we're going to see if we can get the motor to be red, and then we start bolting all the pieces we have back on it, and then this phase will be wrapped up. So that's pretty cool. Other things, I guess that's it for right now. We'll take you into the hood in a minute, kind of show you what we're doing. I've noticed I've had a couple subscribers mention that they were subscribed and then all of a sudden they weren't subscribed anymore. So please, if you are a subscriber and you like our channel, please go in and check to see if you're still subscribed. Apparently that knocking you off the subscribe list has happened. So please check to make sure you're still subscribed. And if you're not a subscriber and you like the content and you like us fixing old stuff, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell till you get a reminder. We love having you along, and we'll go work on some old stuff. So let's look at what we have today and what we're gonna try to make some progress on. We left off last video with the inner fender wells being painted, engine clean, and the firewall's still pretty much as it came to us, other than it's been cleaned. So our next step is to mask off the inner fender wells, mask off the frame rails, and some of the engine components that we're not going to pull off, and get the engine painted. We probably will not paint the intake exhaust manifold. That's a good kind of separator point, I think, for the masking. But that's kind of where we're at right now. So I'm gonna start masking this off, and we'll get a little color on here, and then we'll bring it back. The theme of the motor of the truck project so far has been clean, 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 scrub, scrape, clean. So it's good to finally get a few things starting to look a little more loved. So the engine compartment, the engine is now, visible parts of the engine are painted back to red, and I think it's going to look really good. It's still in the masked off stage right now, but I'll pull the masking off and the paper and give you a quick shot before we wrap this video. This is a slow process. It takes a lot of time. Doesn't really look like much is happening, and yet when it's all done, you hopefully can open the hood and go, oh, I see what's in there, and that looks kind of good, and I can see if it's got an oil leak or a fuel leak or whatever. And that's the point and the purpose of all this work that we're doing. So I'm going to I'll pull the paper off after it's all dry, and then next, after it sets and dries completely, the next phase will be to rub out the firewall and get some wax on it and see how much that will come back. That's sort of the final task before we start to put the engine compartment back together. We have most of the pieces now to put it back together. We're still missing a carburetor kit, but other than that, we obviously don't have a wiring harness yet. That's kind of next phase, but we have enough to get a whole bunch of this engine compartment put back together. So that is kind of where we'll go next. Super excited. So I'll bring you back after the paper's off. And here it is with the paper off. It starts to look a little bit nicer in there. Every time we add painted accessories to it and details, it's gonna look cooler and cooler. So next thing we're gonna put on it is a wax job on that firewall, get that cleaned up, and then we'll start reassembling some of the internals. Still gotta figure out what we're gonna do on the inside of the hood. Probably pull this hood off and give it a really thorough cleaning and just see what it looks like after that. It's never going to look fantastic, but it will. We could probably get it to look substantially better than it looks now, and it's going to fit with the theme of the rest of the truck. But it's looking really good in here. So engine's looking good, truck's looking sharp. Step at a time. Step at a time. Hard to believe how much time it takes, but that's what you got to do. You just got to put in the hours, get it to look good. Once that wiring harness is in and all tidied up, that's a huge detail. Plugs, plug wires, all that stuff. All those things add just another detail to it. I'm Clay for Chop Shop Motors. Thanks for following along. It's probably a pretty short video on the Vortic truck, but thanks for following along as we continue to get it to a point where it's a turnkey running driving vehicle.